So when you are working from home over January, we expect you to follow your normal school timetable. That means if you have an English lesson at 9 o'clock, we expect you on your English Google Classroom between 9 and 10 o'clock when you would have that lesson. Likewise, if you had IT between 10 o'clock and at 12 o'clock, we would expect you on that Google Classroom for that time. So this is what you will do. You would log on to Google Classroom and you will click on the Google Classroom at the time of your lesson and then begin the lesson. We expect you at the top to click at first the Meet link. When you click the Meet link and then press the Join button, you will be in a conversation with your teacher. Your teacher will be present during that time. Now, your teacher at the start of the lesson, when you log on, might say, do you know, we're only going to talk for 5 minutes, then you're going off to do independent work. They may say, actually, I want you on for 20 minutes and then I want you on for another 10 at the end. We expect you to go into that meet during the lesson at the start punctually and to get on and start to work at that time to talk to your teacher. The work for the class will be posted here on Google Classroom. You will see it either at the top of Stream, so Stream's at the top, up here, or under Classwork at the top, or it will be listed as due that day. So that's where we expect you to start the work. That's where you'll begin. My advice would be look at what's at the top of the stream and listen to what your teacher has said on the video call that's been there. Now, when you start the lesson, you will click on the lesson itself here. And when you start the lesson, you will see here in this area, there'll be resources which are view only. So the resources which are view only, like this assessment lesson, is a set of slides that we expect you to go through and read, or it might be something to read or go through, or a set of instructions. Also pay attention here, there will be written instructions from your teacher for what they expect you to do during that time, the written instructions. Work that you complete will be on the right-hand side here. You may, when you log on, as you can see here, find there is a document to click on that you can just click on and start writing. So, for example, this is a mock exam paper that I've given to this Year 7 class here, and you could just write on this and, fill in the answers. So what is a bit in binary? And you could just put the definition here. So I can type the definition here. So you can actually write on the document. Your teacher will see that and will have a copy of that work. When you have completely finished that piece of work, press the turn in button at the top. So at the top, the very top, there is a turn in button that you can click, but you only press that when you have absolutely finished that piece of work. You've finished all the work from that lesson. Now, if there isn't a document there for you to work on, if you press the add button and then document or slides, you can create a new document to type the work in. If I click new document, it'll take a few seconds to create a new file for me. And then I can just click on that new file and it'll be a blank page for me to write the work for that lesson that the teacher's asked me to do. You don't need to then press the share button with your teacher. Your teacher automatically gets a copy in Classroom. So your teacher has a copy that they can see. You don't need to press share or anything. When you press the turn in button, that means you can no longer edit it. So you've put a message on the document to say, I'm done. But turn in, even if you don't press turn in, your teacher can still see the work. So pressing turn in just puts a flag for the teacher to say, I've finished. That's what that button at the top of the document will do. Okay, it just says, I'm finished. Please mark or have a look at my work, please. That is what we expect you to do every single lesson. There will also be under your work, or perhaps listed somewhere on the instructions, there will be, and this is very important, a check activity with every lesson. That will be something to check your learning. It could be a quiz, it could be some knowledge assessment, it could be like a tick list, the way you've got to tick the correct answer. It could be some activity to check that you've understood that material. There'll be kind of 3 parts to the lesson. The teacher will explain on the live video what to do. There might be also a recorded version on the assignment to work through. There'll be some resources to read, something for you to look at, some content to go through, an activity to bring all that together so you can understand it. And again, your written work should be in this section here where it says your work. And then afterwards, when you're finished, there'll be a little like knowledge quiz check or test of some kind as part of the lesson that your teacher will direct you to. Then pop back at the end of the lesson, pop into the Google Meet and, always ask your teacher if you've had any questions, or just tell them, sir or miss, I've finished the work. That's what we expect you to do from January. It is, a different ask, a different way of learning, but you really need to value this as much as any other form of learning. This is going to be your schooling for a part of January, and we need to make sure that you use it properly. It's not an optional extra. It's not fun homework. This is the equivalent of being sat in a classroom with your teacher. Registers will be taken, non-attendance will be followed up, and those who achieve really well will be praised, just like if they were in a normal classroom. We're just doing it in a different location. That is the only difference. Apart from that, this is your schooling, so it's important you take it seriously. If you have any problems, technical issues, or anything that you need to work on, firstly, we won't accept the system wasn't working or I couldn't figure out how to log on as an excuse. Not at all. Not at all. If you have a technical issue, phone the school. The school phone number's on the website. It's a public number. If you are stuck again, this video is available. Email itsupport@sydneystringeracademy.org.uk. That will generate you a unique ticket. You'll be emailed it back, and some technician on the team or a member of staff who is best suited to deal with that inquiry will then respond directly to you and will make sure that your problem is resolved. You will not be able to get away with, oh, I couldn't figure out how to do it or it didn't work. You can contact the school. If you need to speak to your year lead, if you're struggling to follow along live, phone your year lead. Ask them if there's any way to adapt the work in order to do that. If you need to speak to a teacher, you can hop on the Meet and speak to them. We are as contactable and as available as if we were in the building. So I really want to stress that. We expect, just like when we've had students isolating, we have had 100% of students working from home most days. And those that haven't worked from home, we have followed up and challenged. And this will be the same situation here. If there is an access issue, we will do everything within our power to resolve it, but please contact the school and let us know what we can do to support you if there is a problem accessing work at home in any way. So that's what we expect in terms of our expectations and how you will engage with the work. Once that's done, once that lesson's finished, go back to the main page of Google Classroom. And then when your next lesson starts, click on that and then you'll do the same thing. That's what we expect.